Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam. The Great Scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies. But the fact that the men are ugly says otherwise, right? They're not supposed to exist. They're supposed to be cannon fodder to the strong, attractive men who are worthy of having babies. So while y'all are out here being like the men don't take care of themselves, that's why they're unattractive. No, you're fucking a 10,000-year-old genetic anomaly. He's not supposed to exist, babe. Like there's no amount of moisturizer and sunscreen that will change the fact that his great grandma should have fucking swallowed him. Like we are out here fucking and making babies like we're a goddamn endangered species, but the breeding stock is foul. And that's why most men are ugly. Okay. They DEI'd themselves into someone's grandma's coochie. And now we are all forced to deal with the consequences of that. Sucks.
Theory strikes again. At this point, it's not even a theory anymore. It's a fact. We have spent the last 6 years feeding the delusions of women who, quite frankly, should be invisible in society. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. But I can tell that this was just out of pure rage bait. But, seeing the men's reaction to it is hilarious because the men have been tearing her a new one. But this is what happens when you create a community of delusional broken birds, bitter as Brenda's, that it's like, ma'am, let's be for real. Like, who's taking you out in public? Because you're definitely not a 2 p.m. girly. You might be a 2 a.m. girly, but you're not a 2 p.m. girly. Have the audacity and might of He-Man and the power of Grayskull to sit there, come up on Al Gore's internet, to fix your mouth and say that men are ugly. And that is an evolutionary glitch. It's like, your confidence. There was something that was said to me when I was a little girl that if you were not born with looks, you need to have a nice ass personality and a great sense of humor. Because you can't be ugly and have a nasty ass attitude and personality. Society will rip you a new one and humble the fuck out of you with the quickness. But just like, several ladies have said that we need to normalize calling women losers. I'm not a fan of calling a woman ugly, but sometimes you need to bring people back down to reality. Because at the end of the day, when she puts her phone down and step out into reality and step out into the real world, she's invisible. I'm just telling the truth. And you gotta listen to me. I live in reality. I'm going to afford you the courtesy of a trigger warning that if you have low self-esteem, confidence issue, or you're just sensitive about your appearance, it would be in your best interest to not watch this video. I'm talking about one specific person. I am addressing one specific person. If you want to internalize this video and make it seem like I'm talking about you, that is your business and that is your prerogative. I've already given you a warning. The most effective insult and joke is the truth. Ma'am, is this you? You're new. One thing about my page is I call out gross hypocrisy. Because riddle me this, sis. It was okay for her to come up on Al Gore's internet and call men ugly unprovoked. But it's not okay to give her a dose of her own medicine. It's not okay to turn the mirror back on her and to remind her of where she rack and stack in society. Let's go ahead and break down your comment because you wrote a whole lot of nothing. And I see a whole lot of projection. Excuse me, but men that are ugly will come out and call women all kinds of things. What's wrong with her? So it's okay for women to call men ugly, but it's not okay for men to match that same energy? Hypocrisy much? Hello, pot. But slim women need to check a therapist on why they are bothered by a confident woman being confident in herself. Sweetie, that sounds like you're projecting. But I appreciate you calling me slim, considering that a good 85% of my content is on this couch and the only thing you see is like from the neck up. But okay, sure. I've been to therapy 15 years worth, and this is why I'm not reading you for filth. I'm only reading your comment and breaking it down because I can really, really hurt your feelings. But how is that going to solve? Because your self-esteem is already in the gutter trash. Your projection ain't got nothing to do with me. Your insecurity is none of my business. Your issues with your size and your weight is none of my concern or none of my business. If she was so confident within herself, then why isn't she making lesbian content? Why is she all up in heterosexual business? Because she's a self-proclaimed member of Le Jubourgeois, right? So why is she concerned about what's going on with men if she's not fucking them? If she was so confident within herself, she wouldn't have posted that bullshit ass video. If she was so confident and she loved herself so much, she wouldn't have come up on Al Gore's internet with all of the audacity of He-Man and the power of Grayskull to sit there and say some bullshit like that. If she truly loved herself, her content would be a little bit more loving. But let's continue with your comments. Men still see her and approach her. In fact, the same men that approach you would approach her. Your man may probably cheat on you with her and trash talk you with her. But yeah, she needs to be humble, right? Okay, sweetie, that sounds like your life. That really does sound like your life. Obviously, judging by your comments of being cheated on and you trying to project that on me, sorry that happened to you, but you need to go lay on someone's couch. But you have the day you deserve. Bye.
I know what you're doing, and I shall call you out for it in front of everyone so that everyone else is in on the joke with us. Okay? I'm not upset that you did not get that video was about patriarchy and men taking away women's reproductive choices, even though I know for a fact that you are a supremely intelligent Black woman. I have liked your shit before. I'm not even upset about the fact that I made a general statement about men, and you felt the need to personally attack my appearance and not even have the decency to tag me. But what I will call you out on is insinuating that there's something wrong with my mental health. Because as a Black woman in America, and as smart as I know you are, you know what the fuck you were doing. Now, this part is incredibly fucked up, all right? And I don't know if you've made it this far into the video, but hopefully someone will send you this. I do not know, nor do I claim to know, if you were attached to the lady who offed herself a few weeks ago on TikTok Live. But I can tell, based on your behavior, that you have a body count. You have a body count. Because if you can spend 2 minutes calling me every type of ugly in the book, and then at the bottom in the caption have the audacity to say, I hope her mental health is okay after that self-inflicted injury. That's deep. That's deep. And I thank God that I am mentally, emotionally, spiritually strong enough to not be influenced to do something like that by someone like you. But if I was, I'd put your name in the letter so that you would get a visit from the police after I was gone. I hope you have a blessed day.
I mean, she was on target. A lot of you guys are getting up here looking like you're looking and talking trash. And then when men get in the comments, and like she said, start tearing you a new one, then you want to act like you're the victim. But you came out to the playing field talking this much trash. And you come from the same team. I don't know where you guys get off of. I mean, even if we're talking about anomalies, you're not the anomaly. You're not even close to it. You have no business in this arena. I heard somebody say one time, never put yourself in a position to be disrespected. Yet and still, this is what modern women do on a regular basis. You have no business speaking on this topic, looking the way that you look.
Women get custody because the court system favors them.
No, but okay.
And I'll tell you what.
Go on.
And men are punished for being traditional in this country. They are, because the way the court system and see this, I'm gonna talk about this because I know things. It's basically the person that spends the most time with the child. Well, if a man wants to protect and provide for his family, who does that punish? The guy for doing the right thing.
But the children spend more time with the mothers. Sometimes men are not as involved.
Correct.
But it's because children that want to go with the woman.
It's because they're at work though. Yeah. And then if you look at, let's talk about what's in the best interest of the child. When you look at single father homes, they fare very similar to two-parent households. When you look at single mother homes, they become criminals.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
They become criminals, drug dealers, school shooters. Every really problem that you can look at in society comes from single mother homes. Single father homes, not the...
Statistically speaking, the man is working. He's working. Well, I'm working. Nobody's saying that you're not working. But the man, regardless of if you have your cycle, regardless of if the kids, whatever's going on, it don't matter. Even if the kids are sick, it don't matter what comes, what happens. In every situation, the man is going to have to work.
Divorce, it's just a part of life. Overweight, they call it more to love. No responsibility, freedom. Hookup culture, empowerment. Overexposing your body, expression. Modern culture will try and convince you that there's no such thing as right or wrong anymore. Here's the truth. They just want to make women weak, distracted, and vulnerable. Because it's easier to manipulate and influence you. And honestly, it's working. So many women today are scatterbrained, depleted, and emotionally numb. Not because we're broken, but because we followed broken advice. We traded God for celebrities and modesty for trends. Now, instead of calling it for what it is, confusion, we call it empowerment. But you still have a choice. You can reject that noise and train your body, your mind, and your spirit. Stand firm in truth and not trends. You don't have to be perfect, but be powerful. Do this for your future, for your family, and for yourself. Because in a culture of lies, a woman who chooses truth stands out. Follow me for more.
Unpopular opinion. If that man has tried to correct you and or teach you anything, he absolutely loves you. And before you reject what I'm saying, I want you to consider this. Both men and women see the world very differently. That's why we complement each other so well whenever we get together. Women think a lot more emotionally. Men think more logically. So whenever he's trying to show you a different way of being or teach you a different way to do something, he's trying to show you the world through his eyes, how he sees things. And that's a very beautiful thing because he loves you. He feels like he's responsible for you whenever y'all are not together. Even in those moments, he still has to protect you. So he got to make sure that you have situational awareness and that you paying attention whenever you by yourself, because we start taking a good man for granted whenever we with them all the time because we don't pay attention to things that's going on around us. So he's still trying to make sure that you're good whenever he's not with you. Therefore, he may correct you at certain times. And a man that loves you is going to tell you the truth because he wants the best version of you. He wants you to be the best you that you could possibly be as well. Therefore, his correction is for your protection.
There was no feminist on the Titanic. Then men can die. There's no feminists to this day in Ukraine. The Ukrainian women can leave. You'll see them partying in Warsaw and Prague. Ukrainian men can't leave the country. They're dying in a ditch. They have to stay and fight. Not a single feminist is demanding that the women stay and fight. Not a single one. They don't give a fuck when it turns real. Once it turns hot, then it's woohoo, straight to, what do you want, a sandwich? Sure. Well, I'll whip you up a sandwich, sir. What do you need? Then it all goes back.
Well, some women could accept them as the consequences of their very own actions. Because if a person thinks about it, a lot of women for years had been asking men not to be so masculine because masculinity, in their opinion, was toxic. They wanted men to be more in touch with their feminine side, which meant being more in touch with their emotions, being softer, more gentle, more kind. And they got exactly what they wanted. But now it seems that some women are not happy with the results. So are you really going to blame the men for this, for doing exactly what a lot of women were wanting them to do? Or should you take it up with the women that weren't happy with men actually acting like, well, a person would say, manly men? Because this is really the consequence of a lot of women's own actions, and some women simply don't like it. So perhaps take it up with the right individuals.
It's bad for men. It's worse for women. They have to share men. They have to reduce their standard of what they want in a man. They need to agree to lying cheaters as a way to feel connected to themselves. You're telling me they're doing any better than men? They're not. Great. Well, men aren't getting laid. Here's what women are doing. They're having to share one guy between 20. And then you might go, well, that guy's doing all right. He's not doing all right. He's so disconnected from his own needs. He doesn't know anything else other than this. And then eventually you can start pasting all of your narratives across the board. What's really detrimental to everybody is that no one's developing authentic connections. And if that's not happening, then there's no families being built. There is no future generation that could take the values that you have fought for, that allow there to be freedom in a person's life. Dating climate, ass. What can you do about it? What is true in you? Connect with that. Build it. Create it.
It's worse for women. Women have to share men. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have to do anything that they don't want to do. They don't have to share the man. The reason they're sharing the man is because they believe the men that are actually in their league aren't providing enough. The men that are actually the ones that they need to be talking to aren't doing well enough for these entitled modern women. Please stop.
Women don't look for a good dude. Women don't look for that man that works and, wants to treat them right. If you want to lose a woman, treat her good. Have a job. Take care of her. Tell her you love her. Tell her you respect her. Tell her I want to be with you. Tell her I want a family with you. Tell her you the only one I want, and you'll lose that motherfucker quick. I'm trying to tell you, if you want to lose her, listen, you can cheat on her, she'll stay with you. Beat her, she'll stay with you. You can lie, all that toxic shit. They love that motherfucker. But if you want to lose her, just be loyal to her.
Yeah.
Just show her some respect. Just say, look, I miss you. I want to marry you. I want to take care of you. That motherfucker will run for the hills. I don't want no good man. Because you
sing to her.
Sing to her, she still don't
What
want
type
you.
of song?
They're not taught and raised for someone to treat them right and to take care of. They're not used to that shit. If ain't that motherfucker mentally abusing them, verbally abusing them, or physically abusing them, they don't want you. So if you want to lose your woman, just treat her good. Just treat her good.
Why does talking about female responsibility trigger so much backlash?
Because women are the protected group, right? Women naturally being physiologically and biologically less strong, less confrontational, less aggressive, right? And the producers of the next generation, right? Reproductive value is something that for men is super, super valuable. A woman who can have your children, a woman who can raise your children, that is one of the most valuable things in the male mind, and not just in humans, but any species, right? And so women are protected, and we weaponize that protection to avoid any sense that we could be wrong, right? Because if we're wrong, then we cry wolf and we say the man is the aggressor, he's narcissistic, or he's toxic, or he's controlling, or whatever, if he sets a boundary, for example. And women will jump to the arms. And you see this all the time, especially around infidelity. If men cheat, then men are always the problem. They're self-centered, the egocentric, they have a lust problem, they're addicted to all these things. Like, it's always the man's fault. If a woman cheats, then she must have been emotionally neglected, dismissed, diminished, mistreated, right? And somebody saw the damsel in distress and rescued her. She did nothing wrong. And that's a very good contrast of the double standard within the dating markets. Women refuse to acknowledge the role that they play in the outcomes that they experience. They say they want long-term commitment from a man who will provide and protect for them, but they don't offer anything of substance that makes men want to do that. And so what do they do instead? They engage in short-term mating strategies where they will sleep with them, they'll say all the right things, and then they leave. And women don't understand that they're setting themselves up for this by engaging in things that have become normalized in our culture. If you want a man who will stand by you, provide for you, and protect you, then you have to be a high quality woman with strong character, strong values that don't bend to the mob when they tell you that you're a prude or modest or insecure or whatever it is, judgmental, because you know who you are and you stand on those values. Men want to see that level of loyalty and conviction. They do not want somebody who's swept away by the wind and in-group thinking and doubling down on some of these things that compromise the quality of the person that you are just to be accepted by a bunch of women that only want to see you not have something that they can't.
But I'm saying women are more tapped into their emotions than men are.
No.
No?
No. There's an impression that women are. They're not. They're not more tapped into their emotions. They have less stigmas around them.
Okay.
Does not mean that they are more
I can see that
available.
too.
Yeah. Don't confuse emotional with somebody who's integrated with their emotions. Women are seeking that, of course, because it's the basis of connection. There's an authentic expression. There's a revealing of something that's underneath the surface. That's where the feminine thrives. And also where men thrive too. It's an intimate space. It's where they heal. It's a big misconception that, men are less emotionally available than women are. And it's the women who are all like, man, time for you to open up. It's like, you have not worked with a woman in a clinical space to realize that there are some disaster stories of emotionally unhealthy women who believe that they're healthy. And I think that that's exactly what cultivates a lot more emotionally unhealthy women. Men are not under the impression that they are emotionally available. A lot of women are. And that's exactly what makes them far more dangerous.
You cry faster. Just because you cry faster doesn't mean you're tapped into your emotion. You being emotionally undisciplined needs to be introduced to the conversation with a lot of these women.
While you're away fighting a war, your wife is at home with another man. While you're gone and she gets lonely and horny, temptation creeps in. And a few text messages later from Chad in her DMs, and she's cheating on you in your own bed. And the studies don't lie. 23% of military marriages see infidelity during these long deployments, those way above civilian rates. And most guys never report it because of shame, pride, and fear of looking weak. They swallow it and stay silent, so the real numbers are even higher than anyone could even admit. But it gets worse. 75% of those couples divorce within just 6 to 9 months after the men get back. So while he's bleeding in the dirt for his country and his family, his home gets torn apart behind his back. This is why I warn most men, do not rush to get married, ever. Know the woman that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with extremely well, and make sure that she is extremely loyal. And women, do better. This is shameful. Do not get involved with a serviceman if you are not ready to see him leave for months and months at a time. Do not marry him if you're not ready to deal with all of the demons that he's going to bring back home from war. And please, do not hit him harder by cheating on him. That is low, and it shouldn't be treated as anything else less than treason.
I don't want to talk to you no more. Can you please bring my kid out before I call the police? It's my time of visit. Just bring him out. We'll settle this in court. We'll go back, okay? Here.
Calling the police.
We'll call the police if that's what I have to do, because I'm telling you that I don't want to speak to you no more. Okay? Conversation ended once I told you I don't want to speak to you. I don't need to listen to you. It's my time of visit. Bring my kid out. I'll leave at 7 when I leave. Period, point blank.
Just clarify. I'm trying to better our
We don't come.
relationship.
We don't come to an agreement. You think you know everything? Okay. Can you please bring me my kid out?
I just want you to clarify since
Please bring my kid out.
She cut off Pound Town, and if she wanted to, she would. I recently made a video, and a male tagged his spouse in one of my videos. And her comment to her spouse after he tagged her was, "Go get her then." So you're telling me you are more willing as a wife to suggest to your husband that he should go get another woman because you are totally unwilling to have bedroom activities with your man. That is pathetic and sad. And honestly, I'm not the one. I am not the one, because I do not step out on mine, and I would not be giving relationship advice if I was not in a relationship. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I seriously hope he does go find somebody on the side, because you blatantly gave him permission to. If you're not going to do it, but he's still taking care of you, why are you staying with him? Oh, for the convenience, for the stability, for a roof over your head. Got it. You are trash. I hope this helps. Also, if you guys ever want to link a relationship strategy call with me, that is in my link tree in my bio. And as always, if you love my content, please like, share, and follow. Love y'all. See you later.
What are your deal breakers that you just can't compromise on?
Deal breakers, trauma. Have you dealt with your trauma? Are you ready to move on? Some people are still stuck in the past, and I'm not the person for that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Zoe. Why have you popped your balloon on Yaya?
So the reason why I popped my balloon was because he talked about trauma, and he's basically not the one to deal with anyone who has a traumatic past. Or I'm not saying I have a traumatic past, but I just feel like as a man, you should be able to deal with any circumstances and have patience to be able to be like emotionally intelligent. You never know what anyone's gone through, and I just felt that was a put off for me.
How you gonna blame him for you having unresolved trauma? He's saying you have to have gone through your therapy, worked on it with somebody, and have it at least partially healed before he come into your life. Why the fuck he should have to deal with trauma he ain't helped build? That don't even make sense to me. Why would he have to deal with trauma he didn't help create? She talking about as a man, you supposed to be able to handle everything. What the fuck she talking about as a man? What his gender had to do with that? As a man, you got to deal with this trauma.
She has a point. I'm not arguing that. Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on what you mean by the trauma?
So what I mean by that is most people are not ready to move on. They're still dealing with their past. And if you're stuck in the past, there's no future that you can build. And once you're ready, then you should move on. That's right.
Okay, but maybe perhaps some people need more time. So
I
do
did
you have
mention
that patience?
patience. I said one of the qualities that I'm looking for is someone that is patient. So if I'm looking for that, that means I have patience.
Why is she saying you need patience? If somebody need more time to get over their trauma, why the fuck are you dating if what you've been through is such a... I don't understand. If you going through something, why you even worry about dating?
Okay.
However, if you're not ready to move on, and you haven't dealt with your own trauma, I've got my own trauma that I've dealt with.
Okay.
I feel like it's only fair that you meet someone that was also on the same level with you. It's easier. Yeah.
That's fair enough, and that's your preference, so...
Thank you.
Until a nigga buy me a house, I'm not fucking impressed. Because
Really?
I've literally got everything else. I got the bags, I got everything else. Till you buy me a fucking house or a car, I'm not impressed.
Bitch, I should buy you a ass whooping. You are classically ugly. Are you kidding me? A lot of these broads, once you wipe the makeup off their face, you let that hair grow back. These broads got nappy eyebrows. They got hair all over their legs and arms. I mean, that accent is disgusting. You don't deserve anything. You're classically ugly. And then you got those long fingernails. It lets me know your butt crack is dirty because you can't even properly wipe yourself with those long fingernails. And you're perpetually filthy because there's filth that's constantly getting under those fingernails and there's no way to keep it clean. You don't have any decency. You do everything to appear attractive to men and then want to deny it. You know, I just do this for myself. Hell no, you don't do that for yourself, you little raggedy rascal. Furthermore, you clearly grew up broke. You grew up broke without a father to provide for you. And now you're out in the world waiting for random men to provide for you, still while claiming that you have the bag. If you had the bag, then you'd be able to get a house. If you have a steady income and tax returns. But you don't have that because you've mismanaged your vagina, you've mismanaged your relationships, and you have a bad credit score. You're a poor, degenerate black girl who's lost. This is not uncommon. But why you make all of these demands like you're somebody? No, you're just a bed wench. You hear me? Yeah. And you might be like, Marquette, why so hard on the women? Because they need somebody to stomp down on their necks. Why? Because they're out of control. They're extremely narcissistic and unrealistic. This broad looked like Danny Glover. Yeah, she looked like Bernie Mac had a kid he don't claim. This chick is completely ugly. She looked like a descendant of Lil Boosie.
Some of these women, you don't even have to wipe the makeup off. They're just, once again, and I like the bag. I see that bag back there. It's a Givenchy bag, or it's not even Givenchy. I say Givenchy. I've been saying it wrong. I heard somebody say it differently. It sounds a lot better than what I've been saying it like. A lot better. It sounds a lot smoother, a lot sexier, just sleek. But I like that bag, man. It's really nice. But y'all still are not. I'm just going to say, maybe y'all should slow down and relax.
Talk.
I was very manipulative.
What did that look like for a woman to be manipulative?
Oh, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. And I'm going to act like I'm so in love with you. But the truth is, I don't love you because to love somebody, you have to respect them. And respect comes from trust. I can't respect something I can't trust.
Wow.
Right?
Oh.
And even though respect is given and trust is earned, they go hand in hand. They're in tandem.
Yeah.
So manipulation looks like, nah, the truth is, we're dating and I'm comfortable here, but I know I'm not going to settle here because you're loyal to me, but I'm loyal to myself.
Oh my.
So you never felt connection. You only felt attachment. And now I understand from this whole catch and release generation that the fact that I am starving you and depriving you of emotional fulfillment and spiritual security. And I am depriving you of the desire that you have to take it to the next level, the covenant. Do you know how many people asked me to marry them? And I laughed. Like, oh, would you marry? Not ask me, like, get down on a knee, but hey, so would you get married? No, I don't think so. No. And it's funny because then when I got saved, that's all I want. Isn't it funny?
Oh my gosh.
The very thing you hate, you become.
Wow.
Sometimes they blame everyone else but themselves.
How old are you?
I'm about to be 25.
Do you have a man?
No, I've never had a man because my bar is up here and all I'm receiving these days is a bare minimum.
Wait. You're 25 and you've never had a man? You've never been in a relationship?
I was plus size till I was 18.
But that was, what, 8 years ago?
Calm down. Come close. I'm about to be 25. That's not that far away. But like when I got officially slimmer at 19, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a boyfriend. Everyone just wants to fuck. Guys like girls with no personality. I intimidate half of the people I try to entertain.
And nobody can handle it.
Have you been watching Love Island? I am Amaya, and I won't settle for less. If I'm not the book you should be reading, then don't motherfucking read it, bitch.
Okay, let me ask you that.
Take me as you take me.
Let me ask you.
Take me.
Then don't fucking drink it, bitch.
What would you bring to a man's life besides looks?
No. And this is the number one thing that people should hear. I can offer myself everything. When I want a man, I need you to be adding to my life because I could sit in my room by myself
What would you
and
add to
enjoy
his
my
life?
That's not, I'm the prize, my guy. And I feel like, no, hold on. And I feel like I'm not trying to add to anybody's life. I'm a woman. I'm not seeking a man. I'm not seeking that. If a guy is coming into my space and he wants to be with me, I need you to be adding to my life because if you're not, I enjoy sitting alone by myself, talking to myself, being alone with myself, and I enjoy it and I love it.
So this shorty basically became an adult and started fucking. And that's it. That's all they used her for. That's all she was receiving. She didn't look at herself like, what am I missing? What do I got to do? No. She lost some weight and she got some attention and dudes just blew her back out. Now she got her back blown out so much that the bar's up here. When everyone before was on her par, but she kept opening her legs up. And now she's saying she's the prize. She don't got to offer nothing to no man. She knows her worth. And look at another Love Island bimbo watching them shows and doing all this shit and looking at those girls like, yeah, talking. Look, she's alone. She's gonna stay alone because she is insufferable. Even her friend co-signing, both of them probably single. They just get their back blown out. They go out, they drink, and they wonder where all the good men are. These chicks, the wall's gonna hit them so fast if it hasn't hit them already because of their past. But avoid women like this because
This is for my men who want to understand women. So if you are a guy, keep watching. And if you are a girl, send this to him. So you guys have this thing called testosterone. Women have it too, fun fact. But yours kind of goes through the same cycle every single 24 hours. There are things that affect it, make it go up and down, yada, yada. But you guys stay pretty consistent. Women have estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone cycling all throughout the month. Most men find it extremely difficult to understand women, which is valid because there's a lot going on in our body. And a lot of the times women aren't even educated about it either. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know how to communicate it. So I'm here to tell you. Get ready to take notes because I'm about to go through a speed round of explaining the phases of the cycle. You start your period. Hormones gone, dropped, lower than ever. We're tired and there's a lot going on in our body. A couple of days into your period, estrogen starts to rise again. This is going to lead us into our follicular phase. This is about 2 weeks long. Our energy starts to rise. We can tolerate a lot more stress in this time period. Our bodies start to get dramatically less inflamed. So yeah, we actually look leaner. Ovulation, your guys' favorites. We want to be all over you. We are confident. We are hot. We are ready to go. We're feeling so good. Bad news, ovulation is only 1 day. But women are fertile for about 7 days, so let's be careful. When we ovulate, our hormones are at their peak level, the highest they're ever going to get. After we ovulate, we feel good for a couple days still, but this is when our hormones start to decline into our luteal phase all the way up into our next period. So that week before our period, we are dropping, we are feeling the drop in energy. So if you have a girlfriend, you actually have 4 different girlfriends. She's not crazy. There's a lot going on in her body.
I think men are okay with this. I think it's just that men are expected to deal with this. Men are expected to go through all of these phases with you and have an understanding and be empathetic with you and to you and to help whenever needed. Whenever a man goes through something, he can't get that same sort of reciprocation.
Ladies, when it comes to relationships, there's a couple of things that we need to work on. And one of them is our selfish perspectives. And what I mean is, when I make videos saying that we need to listen to our men more, appreciate them, cook a little bit more, give them daily BJs or whatever, y'all say stuff like, well, I'm only doing all that for a husband. However, We expect men we're not married to pay all our bills, get our hair and nails did, have chivalry, reassure our emotions and whatnot. And that's the selfish part. We expect men to treat us like wives before marriage, and we're not going to treat them like husbands until after marriage. Another thing that I think we need to work on is using our feminine energy to benefit the relationship more. Let's just say, for instance, he on some bullshit. He arguing, he yelling, he being mean or whatever, right? Instead of doing the same thing back, use your feminine energy. Baby, you ain't got to yell and be mean to me to get your point across. When you calm down and you're ready to talk, I'm here. In the meantime, have you ate? You want some head or anything? Most niggas gonna fold like a lawn chair and apologize. And that also helps prevent future arguments from being so combative because he see you're not confrontational with him. So basically, ladies, any woman can give him some ass and fry some chicken. But not every woman can make him coming home feel welcoming, caring, supportive, and make him feel respected and make him feel like his opinions and stuff are valued, okay?
Why you want to say fuck me for? Before I continue this video, read what it says on her bio. Losing weight because my knees hurt.
All right, let me clear my throat chopper. Pussy ass nigga, the only thing that is bad built is that Etch-a-Sketch fade you're paying your barber to do.
I'm always transparent about this. My hair's thinning, so my hairline getting pushed back. If I wasn't sick, I wouldn't have this hat and hoodie on.
I'm built just like your cockeyed ass mammy, the same barracuda you inherited those childbearing hips from.
Now, shorty, come on. I'm 6'3", 235 pounds. You talking about bearing hips? Shorty, you big as fuck. Oh, I understand now. I get it. Damn, you my weight. And you shorter than me. That's crazy, bitch. You really gotta lose some weight. I see why you posted that in your bio.
Now let's get to the real tea. The real tea is you're in my comments projecting because you went on to the Pop the Balloon show and had your balloon popped by this beautiful stallion.
It's funny to me because she's calling her a beautiful stallion. Mind you, she never seen her face. So let me get something straight. This same beautiful stallion is supposed to say something about you. You'll get on her page and tear her down instantly. But I digress. Continue.
She basically said you look too soft to be her man. I really think that she was trying to call you an imposter, and you kind of confirmed her suspicion by saying you're an MMA fighter.
I definitely didn't lie about that, and I'll show you the proof.
Ramirez went for that takedown, and it didn't play out well for him. It's not punches.
But I digress. I really don't blame her because I wouldn't want to date a curvaceous man who is built just like Squidward after he ate all those Krabby Patties.
This your nigga? Mind you, I'm an inch taller, and I weigh 60 pounds less than this big fat motherfucker. What are we saying here, bro? What?
Now, her popping your balloon probably really hurt your feelings. And
Shorty, the only feelings that got hurt was yours because I said you both are built bad. Stop trying to shame people when you ain't built any better.
it also goes to show that no matter the size, you're still gonna be dead last. A bitch will not pick you.
You're right. A bitch won't pick me. A woman will. And trust me, as much as I'm flattered that you say you wouldn't want me, I'm sorry. I'm already taken. And FYI, my beautiful girlfriend's hair is real and long, unlike you, because I'll just show you. Look at my baby. Look how sexy she is. You feel me? I gotta record her every time.
myself and you're talking about look at my baby.
You know I'm out here. You feel me? Doing nothing.
But maybe that means you need to live in your truth. Stop chasing things that aren't meant for you. Maybe it's time for you to be that possum mouth power bottom God ordained you to be.
And there you have it, folks. This big booger wolf looking motherfucker is mad at the fact that she can't call me ugly, so she has to lean towards calling me gay. And hopefully you do what your fucking bio says and lose the weight, because I know your fucking knees are hurting.
I think that's my thing. I think that's my thing. Like, talk your trash all you want to. Man, what are we doing? It's the same thing as calling a man broke. Calling a man, oh, you this, you that, you broke because you ain't spending money on a woman. My bank account, I have more money in my bank account than you do. How am I broke? What are we talking about here?
Okay, genuine question for those that say that women should go 50-50 in a relationship with a man because it's the 21st century and we're equals now. Do you think that women fought for the right to have our own money, have our own bank accounts, have our own property, just to turn around and give that to a man, to the same people that were fighting us on it, that were like, no, You're not equal. Oh man, I wish you could have a bank account, but you're just not equal. You're not equal to us.
If guys wanted to take away your rights, they would do it. They're stronger. They would just take it away. This is not, guys didn't fight you and you fought them and won and got these things. That's not how it worked.
Well, from what you guys are saying, then back then a man was abusing you. So in this sort of situation, then you would get away from that man and you would find a man that you would actually want to share a life with. And part of sharing your life is sharing your money, sharing your experiences, sharing how you feel about things. For some reason, for a lot of these modern women, when you talk about finances and finances get brought up, all of a sudden, I don't want to be equal to a man.
Boys aren't raised to be men. Boys are raised just not to be girls. And I think that is the crisis of our society. There's no real role modeling. They're just told what not to be. They're terrorized and terrified of anything that feels remotely feminine and female. And actually, women are terribly strong. And we know that because if after almost somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years of patriarchy, we still haven't submitted, I don't think we're going to. And if you have to marry us off at the age of 9, then what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Like, how afraid must you be of us?
I care about nothing more than pleasure. And
Oh.
I feel as though there's been such a war on women's pleasure in particular. It's considered this privilege, not a right.
What?
I believe that pleasure should be my main focus in life. And that's everything that I am gunning towards. And I'm not going to find that always within this system.
Yeah. Well, unpack for me.
No, it's fascinating to me that when you sit and you listen to these feminists speak to each other, they just confirm all of the talking points that I speak of. What underpins this mindset is selfishness. It's never about duty. It's never about serving of. And also explains her quote to a T in the first clip.
So I would like to help men and women organize together against patriarchy because it's fucking all of us. Like the suicide rates are largely men, homelessness largely men, addiction largely men, the people who will die at war largely men. I really, really believe that we need to have like a really big sit down, men and women together, and go, the patriarchy is actually designed to fuck you and we're a distraction. We are the distraction to make you think you're fucking us over, but actually you're the ones who are going to get conscripted, not us. You're the ones who are going to get sent down the mines. You're the ones who are going to end up doing the most dangerous and unnecessary jobs in society for wealthy, powerful men at the top.
Unnecessary? These are necessary jobs that are needed in order to keep whatever product that they are producing going forward. Some of those very products you enjoy from the comfort of your damn home, but your bullshit in front of us. It's not about working together. It's about controlling men so that you can live well within your rebellious Delilah spirit, far from the structure of what a man would command. This is still act as if they are in a third world country in a patriarchal regime, one of which men are actively and are currently oppressing them and they do not have any rights. And men are afraid of us and are about to storm the castle to take away our rights. Meanwhile, it was men that civilized the world enough for her to be able to have a lifestyle like the one that she is so privileged to live through today.
Do we ever think in all of this, men were raised to stay in their lane? I know y'all like to go off and explore and maybe I can do this and maybe I can do that. And maybe you're able to do that because a man stays in his lane. See, when you get done cosplaying as a man and wanting to be equal to a man and all that stuff, a man has been doing what he's doing. See, when you're in your 20s and you're running around, oh, I want to sleep with this person. Nah, I don't want to do that no more. Oh, I want to be a lesbian and all that other stuff. Great. Do your thing. Do whatever you want to do. Right? Almost quite literally anything and everything you want to do. A man that whole entire time has been in his lane. For the vast majority of it, he's been in his lane. While you're out here exploring, that's why you can explore. Because a man has been in his lane. So when you talk, like you can talk about, I won't go into that. But, you know, In a nutshell, you're able to do a lot of the things that you're able to do because a man stayed in his lane and he did what he was supposed to do.
If a man stops chasing, pay close attention.
Yep.
If a man stops chasing or stops texting first, do not get it twisted. That is not a game. That is not a manipulation tactic. That is a man who has finally realized his true value. He was not born distant. He used to be the one carrying the burden of the conversation alone.
Yeah.
And he replied instantly to people who took days to respond. He was always available, always ready. He bought the lie that if he just gave enough of his time, eventually he would be chosen.
Mm-hmm.
But he learned the hard way that people do not value what they get for free.
Yeah.
He realized that being, always there didn't make him important. It made him invisible. Even the most patient heart has a limit, he found. It's peace in the silence that he never found in the chase.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped trying to force a connection because he realized you cannot beg for attention from people who do not want to give it.
Mm-hmm.
So he simply stopped making time for people who treat him like a second choice.
Mm-hmm.
They will say he changed, but he just stopped being the only one trying. If he withdrew his attention,
Mm-hmm.
he closed the door and he raised his standards.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't ghost you.
Right. But I agree. And so if you were to ask me, why does it seem like black men are the only men that are complaining about providing? I would have to blame black women for not being realistic about their predicaments.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, when we think of Becky, right? She knows that she's in a trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
She's not in denial. She knows what her man makes, and guess what? She will go to Walmart. She will go get a purse from Walmart, wardrobe from Walmart, because Walmart is her ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll never put that pressure on him of Gucci or Louis or any of that, because she knows Billy has Walmart money, but Billy does the best that he can do. And why would I complain? He's providing, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's giving me all of my needs. My needs are met, not my wants, right? The same thing with Maria and Roberto. They know for a fact, right? Our whole family's going to live under this roof. We might not have everything, but we have everything that we need. And my husband provides, and we might can only drink a Modelo every Friday, right? But it seems like some reason when we start dealing with Mercedes and Lakeisha and all of them, right? These are the only women that don't act like we live in poverty. I live in poverty. You live in poverty.
A woman can destroy a man's sense of reality without ever touching him. Let me tell you why. I almost lost myself trying to love the wrong woman. One day, there was one story. The next day, it changed. Then another version showed up. And the facts I uncovered were denied, flipped, or twisted, until I started questioning my own memory. The things I knew were true were suddenly called lies. The questions I asked were labeled manipulation, and every time I pushed back, I was told I was crazy, insecure, or the narcissist. She told me she was pregnant and that she lost the baby because of the stress I created. Later, I found out it was an abortion. Then, when I tried to end the relationship, I was hit with false allegations and thousands of dollars went missing from my house. That's what gaslighting does. It doesn't just confuse you. It makes you doubt your own mind, your sanity, and your self-worth. But here's the part most men don't want to hear. I stayed because I thought I can fix it. I stayed because I thought love meant sacrifice. I stayed because I didn't have strong enough boundaries to walk away. And that nearly destroyed me. Now let me be clear. I had my own flaws. My lack of discipline, standards, and leadership helped create that chaos that followed and eventually led to years of mental damage. But the truth still is there. Yes, men are called to protect and care for women, but not every woman is safe to build with. When a man hasn't built his own identity, purpose, and standards, he will sacrifice himself just to save someone who is emotionally unstable. That's how men get manipulated. That's how men lose themselves. I lost years. I lost money. I lost myself. A man must build value before he gives his life to a woman. Otherwise, he will be controlled by guilt, fear, or emotion. Love without boundaries isn't love. It's self-destruction. And no woman is worth losing yourself for.